Why did people love The Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall? A question none of us are asking, not a single person, but I'm going to answer anyway to a short degree because I don't know, man. Was watching The Hobbit and like Daggerfall, I guess, you know? You ever just watch The Hobbit and feel like playing some Daggerfall after? No? Just me? Yeah, just me then. But that's besides the point, as I'm not even playing OG Daggerfall, I'm playing Daggerfall Unity. Yeah boy, the better one. Daggerfall Unity came out earlier this year and people seem to love it. Lots of YouTube videos were made on it, so I decided it was time I give it a shot myself and show off my skills to you all. You may call me a boomer, but really, you're the boomer. Yeah, yes, I was in the chess club. Ladab. But this isn't an edited Let's Play, so don't you dare go, okay? Don't you dare think of leaving me in my time of need. I'm merely analyzing my experience for you, Jeebus. Look what you made me do. You made me use the J word. Oh, crackers. How mean. But, Daggerfall, ladies and gentlemen. So Daggerfall Unity was created as a way to modernize the very old second Elder Scrolls game. This game is a 90s game, so all you Skyrim players, you gotta be a boomer to understand how to play Daggerfall. You gotta be old. The beginning of Daggerfall allows you to extensively create the type of character you will be playing. This system very closely resembles the same types of systems D&D uses, and if you haven't played D&D, well, go and play it. Jeez. You were given the opportunity to choose 3 primary skills, 3 major skills, and 6 minor skills to level up and own with your player character during your adventure. And along with this, you have a few other options to choose from. You were given some points generated by your choices to put into your skills and into your attributes, so there is a ton of choice when deciding the kind of character you want to play. This system is quite complex and I absolutely love it. You name your character and are then ready to start your new adventure as the thickest high elf the land has ever seen. Also, you can skip all the custom stuff and just use the pre-made questionnaire to make up your character, you bore. With your character created, we have the very first system out of the way that the game introduced to us, and I have to say again, really do love the complexity of it. There's limited choices for appearance, but all the races are there. This is definitely a positive for the game, and something that Bethesda obviously started to wean away from, as the other games were released over the years, but sure, what do you know? Who cares? We all like a lack of RPG here and there. So Daggerfall will plop you into its first dungeon. I don't remember its name because there are so many. I just don't care enough to remember, so shut up you Enwa. From here you have the choice of the tutorial or not, for newbies. I plopped it on and struggled quite a bit for the first hour of my play, but once I learned a lot of the keybinds and how to use my weapons, I was all but in the clear to make my way through the dungeon, but of course there was struggle. I died a lot, and you will die a lot if you don't know what you were doing. Enemies will miss, they will take snippets of your health, or they will crit you and kill you in 2 hits. It's quite unpredictable, but of course fun to replay. The problem for me, and I don't care how much points I have to put into endurance or whatever the appropriate attribute is, so don't write angry comments saying, "Mer, you just play Skyrim." Mer. 1 in 6 combat is not fun to use. I don't even think it's 1 in 6, but it's a D&D style where only certain hits will make impact depending on an in-game role. And I still don't fully understand every single mechanic and exact thing that connects to said other thing, but such is life, you know? I really don't enjoy this kind of combat, but alas, it's something you get used to, and of course there are loads of ways as you progress the game to make this easier on yourself, but that's entirely on you and the type of character you play. Another thing, might I add, is the bloating of dungeons in this game. They are absolutely way too big and bloated to warrant me even wanting to finish exploring them 70% of the time. And this is definitely something that wrecks some of the flow of the game. You will spend a lot of time in dungeons, and of course Daggerfall Unity added in this 3D map system for you to use, and that is incredibly handy, but I can't imagine this game without it. The tedious nature of the game could hurt. It already does. I was in a dungeon for nearly 2 hours. It just would not end. And the consistent dying because of my lack of knowing what to do and the lack of the game fully explained to me how I could avoid certain death is annoying. I'm actually pretty decent at games, believe it or not, and I absolutely adore old 90s games. Having gone through games like The Mist, Vampire the Masquerade, Legacy of Kain, and haven't even played Arena Battlespire, so I have experience. But the F9 and F12 keys will be your bread and butter to use in this journey, as you will be quick saving every 20 seconds and quick loading every single time you die, which unless you were playing on the easiest difficulty will be a lot. When I finished the first dungeon and emerged into the snowy lands of High Rock for the very first time, it was an exceedingly nice feeling to have finished the first dungeon and get to see this outside world, and it's a very big world. Daggerfall has one of the, if not the biggest maps in the Elder Scrolls series, if not the entire world of gaming, with Daggerfall's map being at 229,848 square kilometers or 88,745 square miles, whichever unit you decide to use. That is actually way too big, like holy crap. Imagine if if there wasn't a fast travel system in place. That would just be the worst thing in the world. But thankfully there is, and it works much the same as Skyrim's one does. However, there is some stats to it, with it costing you days, costing you money and such, and you can take different approaches to how you fast travel. Very RPG style, but there are a lot of places for you to visit. 15,000 towns exactly. You can talk to any NPC you come across and ask them a variety of different things once you have access to the topics you were trying to ask them, and that's once again where I struggled just a tad bit for a good while. I couldn't find any work in a town, and I managed to come across a lucky person who explained to me that there was guilds, or most so I finally asked the right things to a person I encountered. Again, it took a bit of figuring out. I seen options for the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild, so I opted for the Fighters Guild and headed on over to the town it was leading me to. You can follow a day-to-day journal of what you do in a log tab, which is quite nice. When I arrived at the Fighters Guild, I became an apprentice, and then you have the task of completing random quests until you level up again. However, quests work differently in this game compared to the other games in the entry. Most of the quests you were given are timed. You literally have to go and clear the beasts from someone's house in like a day, and some quests might take a few weeks if you have to travel, so you have to do a lot of managing and planning. This is quite unique and quite enjoyable to do. Kojima was probably playing a lot of Daggerfall before he made Death Stranding. Am I right, fellow toddlings? Quests can be unique and quests can be repeated. They are mostly the same. You were given something to do, you go to set and place and kill something, then you return to reap your gold reward. So it's a pretty simple but effective raiding system. There is a main quest for you to do in the game, however. You are tasked with finding a letter on the side for the Emperor and destroying it, and you have to go and see your big boy King Lysandus, who is dead but not dead. But dead but also not dead. You kinda catch my drift, right? But aside from all this, you keep upgrading your character, role-playing, looking at them tig old biddies that the Daggerfall females have, because I'm not looking, they just happen to be in my way, okay? And you do some questing. The gameplay loop is solid and fun, and the lore and surrounding world, while very tedious and pretty much all the same, is interesting to learn from, and it's quite satisfying to play around with. But again, the game is pretty old. There's a nice variety of enemies. You will probably find yourself renaming the executable to this game to Rat Killing Simulator, because by Talos do you kill a lot of rats. They just keep coming and coming, they just won't stop. So there will probably be a large portion of people who quit during this game in 2019 or 2020 or 2050, whichever year it is, because it's not that the game is particularly difficult, it's just the game demands a lot of your time. I really cannot stress how big the dungeons are. They are huge, and I don't know about the high-end pro Daggerfall players, but it's a problem for me. I really don't have 2 hours at a time to be going through a dungeon. Remember, this entire video is a reflection of my own personal opinion after playing a big chunk of the game, and it shouldn't affect how you see or experience the game. If you love the game, that's okay. I completely respect it. So I enjoyed my time with Daggerfall. I even think I'll play more. I am the epic gamer, but I might not be everybody's cup of tea. Actually, it absolutely isn't everyone's cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine. It's just a game anyway. I personally prefer Oblivion and Skyrim, but that's just me. However, I can finally say I appreciate the systems of play used inside of this game. Especially for its time, I feel a lot of modern RPGs could use this system well. It's a lot of fun to use, and this kind of restriction on your character is needed to create immersive and realistic characters that you imagine and make up. That's how I see it anyway. I do like Skyrim's system, but it doesn't allow me to use these kind of restrictions on my character, which really stunts my immersion. I feel like this unstoppable hero, while with the hero of Kvatch I had to focus on my magic and nothing else. I could not wield the blade at all, but my experience was enjoyable, and the game is free, so there's literally no reason to give the game a try. Even if you're using minimum specs on PC, the game is very old, and a lot of existing patches could fix the problem you run into. That is about it for my take in this video. I thank you all for joining me in this little analysis on an old game in a new world that still happens to be fun and show systems that definitely be used in this current time in gaming. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new or just like to support my content, you could consider a like and maybe sharing the video. And if you didn't like the video, didn't like this particular content, or you're edgy, then a dislike is always welcome in this direction. Either way, ratings help out my channel and let me know what you thought and what I can do in the future to make my content better and all that good stuff that you guys let me know. Leave some comments down below on what we should look into next, and even some criticism, or if you want to just spark a conversation, any of them will suffice, as I'd love to see all the different comments you guys and gals all leave me. But with all that said, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to making the next one, and I hope you are all gaming and playing some pretty good games. I'm currently playing the GTA games, and it's quite a throwback. But as always, I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, month, or year, and I'll see you feckers in the next one.